Hey guys, my name is Walter White, and today, today do I have a video for you. As you can see, we've reached the letter W, and we got ourselves a record-breaking 36 games to choose from. Albeit, some of them are from the same game series. That still leaves us with a ton of games to choose from. So as always, let's get into them. We start things off with Wreckfest, a demolition derby style racing game. If you remember the Fallout series from 2004, just know that this game is the spiritual successor to that series. Then we have a couple of Worms games from the PlayStation 1 era, a game that gets infinitely better with friends. I know everyone here has played at least one Worms game in their life. Next, we have World War Z, which is the game that I'm playing in the background. I've always wanted to try it out for myself and felt like now is the right time. Reviews for this game are solid too, with scores being 8 out of 10. World of Final Fantasy is what you'd expect, another RPG added to the franchise, this one being a spin-off from the mainline games. We have some good Wolfenstein games, and then we have one that's not so great according to the reviews, Wolfenstein Youngblood. Wipeout Omega Collection is your typical racing game, but instead of cars, you drive ships. Next on the list, we have a game that I've never heard of, Wild Guns Reloaded. Just by looking at the art and some gameplay, I can already tell that this game is a nostalgic arcade retro wonderland for some folks, and rightfully so too. With reviews better than most modern games today. We have Wild Arms 1, 2, and 3. We have White Knight Chronicles, a turn-based RPG from 2008. And then we have When Vikings Attack. I don't even know what to classify this game as. It's a fighting game / arena melee brawler from the PS3 era with mid reviews, so I have to try it out. Wheel of Fortune needs no introduction nor explanation, so skip. What Remains of Edith Finch? My god, what a game. I have zero bad things to say about this experience. 100% recommended if you've never tried it. Show of hands. How many of you have played Among Us? All of you? Good. Because Werewolves Within is exactly that, but in its own way. Also, it's only available for VR. Another game about werewolves is Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. Never heard of this game before, but looking at the box art, it looks kinda interesting. But then I saw the reviews, and they weren't that nice. Still, I gotta try it for myself. Next up, we have a banger of a game series, Watch Dogs 1, 2, and Watch Dogs Legion, with the latter having huge improvements over its predecessor. We got Warriors 3 and Warriors All-Stars. I don't know much about this game, but reviews are all over the place with this one. Warriors Legends of Troy is a hack and slash action game, telling the story of the Trojan War from the perspective of both Greeks and Trojans. War of the Monsters is your classic monster v monster, where the city is your arena. Warlords is considered an action strategy game of ping pong, I think. Next, another game series I've never played before, Warhammer. All I know is that it's an action RPG similar to the famous Diablo series. And finally, we have wakeboarding, for those of you who like that sort of stuff. With a couple of choices of what I consider to be weird, I decided to go with 2 games for today's video. So let's jump into the first one while you guess which one will be the second game. We start things off with Werewolves Within, a VR game released in 2016 for the PS4. In order for me to play this, I had to dig up my old VR headset that's been stored away for about 3 years now. Not only that, I also had to find all the cables and figure out how to connect everything to the recording device I use. In short, the setup took me about 25 minutes to get everything to work. Now we're in the game, and the first thing I do is watch the tutorial video. It gives me the basic information on what we're about to get into. I then start looking at each individual role that you can potentially play as. I read through all of them, and with everything I need, I jump into a quick match. Now, I've hit a roadblock. Just as I expected, there is absolutely no one playing this game. Even with crossplay turned on, Nothing. I even tried to make the game matchmake me with other regions or different languages. After waiting 15 minutes in a lobby, it was time to face the facts. Nobody was coming. I don't even have friends that own a VR headset to make a private lobby. With that said, it was cool seeing everything through VR. It reminded me of all the fun I had back when I used to use it. But for now, it's time to pull the plug. This game wins for least played game on PlayStation Premium. Game number 2. Did you guess? When Vikings Attack is my next choice on the list. Maybe not what you were expecting, but hear me out. We start the game to find only 2 playable modes. Quest mode, which is basically story mode, and versus battle mode, which lets you fight against your friends or anyone online. We jump straight into story mode and a quick cutscene plays out that serves as a tutorial and a backstory. The game tells us that Vikings are attempting to take over our town, and it's up to the civilians to fight back. Our objective for the entire game is simple: gather civilians and use every throwable object you can find to use against the Vikings. The more civilians you have, the bigger the objects you can carry and throw. Each level has about 4 rounds of multiple waves of Vikings attacking you, with a mini-boss at the end. The controls are simple. The only buttons you ever use are the circle to dodge and the square to throw stuff. As you complete more stages, you unlock special civilians that randomly appear in some levels. What makes these civilians special is that they have perks. Some give you speed, some give you strength, and others you can't even tell what they do. Like this one, it's a baseball player with a perk catcher, but I can't tell what it does. It doesn't help that the game doesn't tell you either. After stage 2, the game starts introducing new objects to pick up, in this case a bomb, which doesn't add anything to the gameplay. I reach the end of stage 3 and get met with a boss Viking using a shield. Direct attacks don't work, and I haven't been paying attention that the road signs throughout the level actually reflect or bounce anything you throw at them. After losing the first time, I got my strategy down. We reach stage 4, and the game introduces a new type of bomb that turns Vikings into allies. How does it do that? Well, if you mix eggs, bread, milk, zebra, and coffee together, and proceed to hit someone with it, they will rethink their entire life decisions. As you can already tell, this game is incredibly repetitive, and I've had enough of this. I speed through the last level and got wrecked by 2 bosses I had to fight. I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't imagine ever paying for a game like this if that's all it has. But that's just me. Let me know what you think about my choices in today's video. Was there another game that deserved the top spot? In all fairness, maybe Worms deserves the title for weirdest game? It's a game about worms with guns. Thanks for watching till the end. My name is Walter White. See you next time.